Hey guys, welcome back. If you are new to my channel, my name is Julie and I post videos on affordable beauty. So today I'm continuing my series with the e.l.f. The New Classics. I'm doing a tutorial series on different makeup looks using this palette. So I've been showing you guys like some everyday looks. I'm going to be showing more glam looks. So there's just so many different looks that you can create with this palette, and I absolutely love this. This palette is becoming my favorite drugstore palette in my makeup collection. It's just such a good palette, and it's only $14. So it's like you cannot go wrong with that. And today I wanted to do an all matte eyeshadow look that you could wear day to day. So if you would like to see how to do this, then let's go ahead and jump into this step-by-step tutorial. I went ahead and did all of my base makeup, so my foundation, concealer, and I also did my brows. So I will have all those products listed and linked down in the description box, as well as all the other products that I'm going to be using today. So first I'm just going to go ahead and prime my eyelids, and I'm just using the Milani eyeshadow primer. Just always like to use an eyeshadow primer just to ensure that my eyeshadows are going to last all day long and not crease. I'm going to go in with this shade called Cream, and I'm going to put that all over my eyelid. So I'm just using the Sigma E25 blending, just packing that shade on this brush here on the side like that, because I'm going to kind of use this as like a shader brush and then also blend it all over the lid. This is just going to work as a base for the other eyeshadows and also as the lid color. So just patting it there on the lid, just going in a couple of times to build up the color, and then just taking a little bit of that up into the crease. I'm going to go in with this shade Uptown, and I'm just using that same Sigma E25 blending, and I'm just going to blend it up into the crease. Just kind of blend it out in this outer V just a little bit. Then I'm going to take some of this color in Earth. Just using the Sigma Pencil E30, and I'm going to blend the shade here on the lower lash line, just to add a little bit of a shadow. Then I'm going back with some of that color in Cream, and I'm going to use that as a brow bone highlight as well. Now, if you wanted to take this look up a notch, what you could do is take a little bit of this shade in Earth that we used on the lower lash line and also smoke that here in the outer V if you wanted to make this look a little bit deeper, a little bit smokier. Or if you didn't like how this looks smoky, you could skip putting Earth there on the lower lash line and just have a nice like everyday eyelid. I think for the sake of this video, and you know, just so I can show you what it would look like if you used Earth in the outer V, that is what I'm going to do for you guys. And then that way it kind of gives you some different options with this look. So I'm just getting some of Earth on this Morphe M506, and I'm just going to lightly blend that here in the outer V. I'm just using a little bit of the shade at first, and then I can always add more. And actually, I might go in with that same Sigma E25 blending. And then this would also be, you know, a look where you could just use one brush for the most part. and just slowly build that color up. So I'm just putting it right there in the outer V socket and just using little circular motions, and then just kind of slowly pulling it in towards like this part of the eye and towards the crease. So as you can see, like it just kind of smokes it out just a little bit more. Just make sure you tap off your brush really well so you don't have any fallout. And then I'm just gonna kind of wipe that brush off like on a paper towel, and I'm gonna grab a little bit more of Uptown and just kind of go over the edge just to make sure it's blended. But I really like how that just smokes the eye out just a little bit more. So it would be a great way to take, like, you know, if this was your everyday eye look and you were going to go out that evening and you wanted to make it a little bit more intense, just take that darker color and just kind of smoke it out. And then sometimes I go back with my sponge and just kind of tap right there to just clean up if I did happen to have a little bit of fallout. So I'm just going to do the same thing over here. So to just show you a little bit better, like with this brush, how to blend. So I got that color here on the tip of the brush, and then I'm going to stamp here, just use like a little circular, and then I'm going to turn the brush this way and kind of pull it in towards the crease. And that just helps to shape the outer V. But I absolutely love this, the e.l.f. the new Classics palette. You can create so many different looks. It's so versatile. Such a gorgeous palette. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the face makeup, and then we'll come back to the eyes at the end. So for the bronzer, I'm going to be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer in Deep Bronzer. And I'm going to be blending that with the Morphe M530. I've fallen back in love with both of these products, this bronzer and this brush. Like, it took me a hot minute to figure out which colors of these Physicians Formula Butter Bronzers that I liked the best. Because I don't know if you all remember when it used to come in the packaging that the bottom was more of, I can't remember, maybe the bottom was yellow and like this top rim had like a purple magenta color, or maybe that was vice versa. But either way, like the colors on the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzers were slightly different when it was in that packaging as opposed to now in this lighter like green packaging. And in the old packaging, I used to just use the shade bronzer, and that was the perfect shade. But I've come to kind of figure out that this shade in Deep Bronzer is pretty close to that shade in bronzer that they used to have in the old packaging. This might be slightly a little bit darker or deeper than that shade, but like tone-wise, this is the closest tone, because their shade in bronzer now in this formula is more like their old bronzer in light, like light bronzer. So I don't know. The shades are just slightly a little bit different. So it did take me a hot minute to figure it out, but I do like, before, you know, they changed the colors and everything, that was my all-time favorite Drugstore bronzer. And I feel like now that I've found my shade, I do like this bronzer a lot better. Now, I don't know, like once we get into winter, if this shade in Deep Bronzer is going to be too deep, but I don't know. It's just like, why did they have to go and change it? And maybe other people I don't know, like, did you guys notice a change? I mean, I don't see how you couldn't notice a change because it definitely is different than it used to be. But at least, like, the shade names with the color. Like, the formula itself is the same, but... So I'm just kind of bronzing up, like, along the hairline and right here on the cheeks. And then I'm going to take a slightly larger brush and I'm just going to bronze up my neck and jawline. All right, and for the blush, I'm going to use one of the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blushes. This is in the color Rosy Rosewood. Such a beautiful rosy pink. I'm just into rosy pink blushes. It's just my favorite. Like, what is your favorite, like, color of blush? Mine's definitely, like, rose or, like, a terracotta rose. Or maybe even just, like, mauve colors. I really love a good, like, mauve pink blush. So going really intense with this blush. And then I'm going to go back with my sponge and kind of, like, blend it out a little bit. So I'm just going back with my makeup sponge. This is the Wet n Wild makeup sponge. This is what I use to blend my foundation out. So this is a little bit dampened and it's got a little bit of my foundation on there. So it just kind of helps to blend things out if you get things a little too intense. And with this blush, it does have a slight, I feel like my parts got messed up from, probably should have clipped my hair back, but whatever. It does have a little bit of like a built-in highlight with that blush. So, you know, if you don't want something super duper highlighted, skip the highlight, which I might do that today since I'm going for like a little bit more of like a matte sort of look, like with the eyes and everything. But I really like the Essence Pure Nude Baked Highlighter. It's a great one. That's, I was trying to get my brow gel because I feel like my eyebrows got a little gapped. It's a great highlight because you can apply a little bit of it and it just looks a little bit more natural, or you can go in with like a couple of layers and make it more intense. So it is a really versatile highlight. And then I'm just going to mist my face with the LA Girl setting spray. And then I'm just going to curl my lashes up and apply some of my mascara. And then for the mascara, I'm just using the Maybelline Lash Sensational. So I'm going to apply several coats of this and then come back and I'll show you what I'm using on the lips today. And honestly, with the lips, if you wanted to go if you wanted to go natural, you could just use like a clear gloss, which is what I have on my lips currently, because this is what I was using to moisturize my lips. This is the Hard Candy Gloss Topia, just in the clear. But I'm going to take this off and I will show you guys like a little bit of a darker everyday lip. Nothing like too dark, but just a little bit more noticeable. So I know that I use this a lot in my videos, but this is one of the CoverGirl Outlast lip stains in Shuggy Girl. But I do think that this lip color pairs so nice with that Essence blush, because this is like a rosy mauve pink color. And now that I got that lip on, I might actually add just a little bit more blush. Okay, I think that looks really nice. And then I am going to top this with one of the Dior lip glosses. And this is in Intense Rosewood, I believe. But those two colors pair so nice together. This is the final makeup look. So just a nice, just completely matte look. Well, with the eyes anyway. And I think this is such a pretty look for every day. And like if you didn't want it as smoky, you know, you could totally skip that darker earth shade that I used. But if you haven't seen the other looks that I have done with this palette, I will have that linked over here, my playlist. But I'm going to be continuing my series on this palette. Probably the next look that I do will be more of a glam look. I'm trying to alternate between sort of wearable everyday looks with more glam looks. Just because, you know, sometimes we want a little bit more of a glam look, but it's also good to see how to use this every day as well. So if you are enjoying this series, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.